I am Daniel Kinnersley. I am a senior chemist at Sandberg. We are in the chemistry laboratory. I've worked here for 16 years and I would say somewhat of an expert in analysing concretes and mortars. When a sample such as a mortar comes in, we take a look at the sample, make sure it meets the requirements of the size and the quality. Then we try and extract it from any substrate materials like brick or concrete or render, and then so we're just looking exactly at the right piece. If we're looking at the bedding, we would remove the pointing, for instance. Then we look at salient features, how it looks, whether it looks like there's any lime, any coal aggregates, whether it looks evenly mixed, and then try and take a representative sample for analysis, which starts off being dried overnight to drive off any moisture, and then there is a series of extractions. First we have to crush it down into an extractable material, so it's crushed into a fine powder, so then everything's treated the same and easily dissolves in the acids and the bases that we use to extract all the minerals. So the first part is an acid extraction, and then followed by base extraction. So everything that is soluble, that is within the mortar or concrete, will then be collected inside a flask. This will be our analytical portion, and we will do a number of analyses from titrations, UV analysis, gravimetric analysis to precipitate sulfate out, and then we can use the analysis to determine the mix type and the proportions that were used to create it, and then we can recommend what material is actually there so it can be repaired or replaced in a sympathetic fashion. I came from outside of London, and when I finished university I wanted to stay in London, and one of the biggest icons is the Palace of Westminster. When people think of London, they think of that view across the Thames, and so when you see jobs like that coming in, it does give you a little bit of pride, and it's also like extremely interesting. You can see that literally the work that will be done. At the moment, there's probably some scaffolding up, so but eventually when it's all finished and you can point at the palace and say, look, I tested that bit there and did that. It feels like you're part of something bigger and part of London, I guess. People may have the assumption that something goes in a machine or a box, like you see on TV, and it tells you exactly what it is. But in reality, it's taking a sample, extracting it, doing various analyses, looking at a broader spectrum of everything together, and then coming up with a conclusion rather than a machine doing it. So it does require hands-on chemical skills and things that have been learnt at university all the way from when you start doing chemistry, basically.